Hello and welcome to Greetingstar. I'm so glad you could join me today. Merry Christmas, crafty friends. I'm here with a couple of Christmas cards for you today, and I made these cards with supplies from the November SCT Sampler, and I also used some of my own supplies, of course. You can see here my card base that I created and this card panel, also some of this gold vinyl from, I think, Cricut, and you're going to actually need 2 of these sheets of vinyl. I bought mine on a roll, so I just cut it out for what I needed. And I'm going to cut out this word wishes that came in the SCT Sampler. And also this pattern paper and that beautiful little deer came in the SCT Sampler for November of 2022. And that pattern paper is from Spellbinders. All of these products that I use today will be linked down below or listed if I can't find a link for them, so that you can try to find what you need if you want to do these cards. Now, I was debating on whether to use red or green as a background for the gold wishes word, and I decided to go with the red, and I'm also going to use a red background for the card as well. So first I'm just going to put this gold vinyl paper down on my cardstock. I couldn't remember what it was called. And I'm just struggling with it there, but that's not going to matter because that's just going to be the background. So only the very edges of this paper will peek out from behind my pattern paper. So I'm just trimming off that white cardstock on the edges, so I'll have a complete gold piece. And then I'm trimming this piece down to 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And so that way I'll have 1/4 of an inch of the gold, and I'll also have 1/4 of an inch of this red. Now this red paper was just a piece of scrap red paper that I had, so I'm just going to adhere it sort of to the center of my card so I can trim off those edges that aren't so neat. So now that's going to look a lot nicer, and I'll be ready to assemble my card. But first I just need to die cut the word wishes out of this gold vinyl. And so I did that, and I'm going to adhere that to the red background eventually. But first I'm going to place down, I'm going to build my card with the gold vinyl first, and then the pattern paper. I almost made a mistake there. So we'll just put this gold vinyl down, and nobody's going to know that I cut out the word wishes from the center of it, because it will be covered with the beautiful pattern paper from Spellbinders. And this comes from their Winter Wonderland collection, if you're wanting to know. And again, that will be listed down below and linked if I can link it for you. And then these tag dies I purchased on Amazon, and it came in, it was a really great deal. You get tons of different little tag dies. They're all nested, and you get like 4 or 5 different shapes. So it's quite a good deal. And then I used this die set from Spellbinders to add some embellishments to the card. This is a beautiful set that's called Christmas Blooms, and it'll cut out all of these beautiful Christmas flowers and flora for you, like the pine needles and the pine cone and so on and so forth. You can use any of these on your card. Today I'm going to use the pine needles and the poinsettia. And you can see that I've already built those there. And I used a Zigwink of Stella in gold to add some bling. And I'm going to use this twine. I purchased this at Michael's. This is their brand, the Recollections twine. And it has some shimmery gold accents all through it that you can see there. Now I bought quite a big spool of this at Michael's. I used a coupon, and I think it was like $9, but I know they have some real small spools at Hobby Lobby for like $1.99 of the same twine, so you can do that. And now I'm just adding some foam adhesive, some double-sided foam adhesive, so that I can pop up my tag to add some dimension. I love adding dimensions to cards. Some people hate it. It's difficult to send through the mail, so if you're not giving your card in person, you may not want to have to pay extra postage and put it in a special container so that it'll mail properly. Then you may not want to use that dimension. But I just love it. I think it's so beautiful and makes the card look more special and more handmade. Now I'm just using some art glitter glue to put the green pine needles on top of the brown. And here's where you see I use that gold zig marker. It's the Wink of Stella gold glitter color. and I just put that on there. I'll add that to the green as well, just to make it tie in and look really pretty together. I thought that that little touch of bright green really perked up this card a lot, so I liked doing that. Okay, so now I'm going to add my poinsettia, and then I'll get ready to add my deer here. Now, I think that the deer would be really cute if you kind of angled him a little bit more so it looked like he was jumping in the air. I didn't do that. I think I meant to do so, but I didn't when I was putting him together. You might want to do a double tie on that bow also, just to keep it in place. Now I'm using another stamp and die set that I have. This one's from Honeybee Stamps, and I can't remember what it's called, but again, it'll be down below. And this will stamp the word Merry Christmas, and you can use the die set that coordinates with it to cut it out, or you could just fussy cut it. It's up to you. I'm going to use some Versamark, some anti-static powder, and I'm going to stamp the word Merry Christmas onto that die cut. And I'm just using my precision press and my Expo marker to press down. And then these are my reverse tweezers that I'm going to pull up this piece with. And then I've got my little tidy tray here to put my embossing powder in. This is some gold embossing powder that I bought at Joann's years ago. It came in a kit of several little bottles with several colors. They have like 2 different kinds. One's for pastel and the other ones are regular colors. I don't even know if they sell it anymore, but if they do and I can find it, I will link it. Otherwise, I'll just list it. Okay, so now I'm going to cut these words apart because I only want one of them. And I decided to go with Merry instead of Christmas because it was smaller and fit in the space better. So it says Merry Wishes. Now underneath that Merry, you can see that I had stamped the word Winter. That is from a stamp set that came in the kit for the SCT Sampler for November of 2022. But I didn't like the way it looked. So that's why I pulled out that other stamp set. So this is going to say Merry Wishes. And boy, I do use a lot of different products when I'm making my creations, but I just like to be able to, pull together a card, and I just, if it doesn't look right, I try to find something else. And so as I'm playing around and making the card and creating it, I just pull out the supplies that I have and decide to use what I think looks best. And so I would encourage you to do the same thing, guys. Make sure that you have all of your Christmas supplies out, and so that they're visible and you can see them, and that way you'll know what you have, and it'll help you put your cards together. So I just take a box, and I pull out all of my Christmas supplies, all of my dies, and put them in that box, and maybe another box for all of my other Christmas supplies, and then that'll help me be able to create better cards. Okay, so for the leftover pattern paper, I'm just going to put that on the inside of the card here to carry over the design, so that when they open the card, your recipient will see the same pattern and design going throughout the card, which just makes the card a little more finished and pretty, I think. And be sure when you're using pattern paper that you turn it the right direction. I have often made that mistake. I just get busy with paying attention to aligning it properly, and then I forget to put it in right side up. Thankfully, this time I did it correctly. And now I'm just trying to remove the backing off of this thin strip of that gold vinyl. I'm using a little bit of it to add a shiny touch to the inside of the card right along the border of that pattern paper. I think that looks so pretty. That gorgeous gold vinyl just shimmers so nice, and I just love the way it looks with that pattern paper. Okay, so now I think my card's ready. I just have to see, you could use the word Christmas if you wanted to. I just like the way the word Merry looked. Okay, so now I'm moving on to the second card. Now I'm using a card base that I purchased from Michael's a long time ago. It's pre-scored and pre-folded. It has a little bit of texture on it. And I'll only be able to see about 1/4 of an inch of it peeking out around the gold, because I'm going to use that gold vinyl again. And I'm also going to be using some of this glitter tulle that I purchased at Walmart. It came on a roll, and I just bought it a while ago at, I think, last Christmas season, and I never used it last Christmas season. I didn't have time. So I'm just again placing this vinyl down on some cardstock. This is 80-pound Nina Solar White. I'm just going to trim it down. And so this vinyl is cut to be 1/4 of an inch smaller than the A2 size card. So, you know, it's 1/4 of an inch all the way around. And I'm just sanding that down because my trimmer blade is making my papers fuzzy because I need to sharpen it or get a new one. And then this beautiful pattern paper and that cute little gingerbread candy house also comes from Spellbinders in this kit that I received from SCT Sampler. All right, so I'm just using some double-sided adhesive to put this dotted pattern paper down onto my vinyl. And it's a pretty simple process, guys, but I still wanted to show it to you. This was the second card that I made from the kit. And I do have another video with some Christmas sweaters that I put up a while ago, a couple days ago. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just cut this tulle down to size for this card panel. And I think it's like, what is that, 4 or 5? Actually, yeah, I cut it down to be smaller. I want it to be just a little bit bigger than the panel, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to scrunch it up like this, and then I'm going to, I should have used string here, guys, but I just used what I had at hand. I should have just tied it with a string because it would have been a tighter, the tool would have kept its shape better. And now I'm just going to place this foam adhesive so it will go around the adhesive that's holding the tool down. And now I'm just going to adhere the tool to the back of the card with that adhesive that I'd put on there previously. And then I'm just going to put a piece of that adhesive over the top of it. And that way it will be ready, this panel will be ready to put on my card. I'm going to add some more adhesive to the top and the bottom to make sure that it will stay in place. And that is the card. Now again, I think that the tool would have looked better if I would have tied it with a string. It would have had more of a you know, a flare at the end, but I didn't do that. So now I'm using these puffy stickers that also came in the SCT Sampler kit for November of 2022. And I'm just going to say deck the halls because I think that's pretty cute. It's something that we all like to do at Christmas time, is decorate. So there we go, deck the halls. And that little gingerbread house is really cute, isn't it? I just love it. Have to lift it up a little bit and move it over because there wasn't room for the word deck the halls. This is where you have to be careful because if you have any kind of adhesive, you run the risk of you know, tearing your paper. So, but I am always shifting and moving things around. I don't know about you guys, but I'm just not very good at planning things out ahead of time, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, so there is a look at the card. I did tilt the little house a little bit. You'll see I'm even going to tilt it some more to give that word halls a little more room. I think it actually gives a little more character to the card when the little gingerbread house is tilted. I don't know. What do you think? Do you like it tilted, or do you think it would be better straight? Okay, now I'm deciding where to use the rest of this pattern paper, and I'm just going to cut, I think, like a 1/2 of an inch of each piece, and I put it on maybe it's a 3/4 of an inch of each piece that I'm going to put on either side of the inside of the card. Again, just to carry over the same decoration and feeling from the outside to the inside. Makes it look a little more finished and something pretty for your recipient to look at when they get their card. And there's still plenty of space left to write your message. And then I'm going to put that cute little gingerbread down there because that again just ties in with the gingerbread house. I think it's so cute. So there is my card, guys. So I hope you had fun watching today. I hope it inspired you. If it did, please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified of all my future videos. You can also check out my blog at greetingstar.org, or you can check out my Instagram. I'm Greetingstar on Instagram. Thanks so much and have a wonderful day and Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.